Hey, how's everyone doing tonight? Hopefully everyone's having a good time, trying out some new gear and some new toys, trying some new audio production tricks. Hopefully it's all kind of working out okay over on the viewer side. So a few different pieces to manage over here, so a little bit more of a convoluted process to get spun up here. Shout out to Elevated Jam Tracks. If you're a guitar player looking for something to practice over, he makes all sorts of cool, interesting stuff in many different genres. So, been off and on dealing with some real life stuff, just trying to get some things done up around the property. Started a new job a few weeks back, and that's been in somewhat of a transitionary role. So let's see what we got going on in the chat tonight. So, let's see here. Large, Splash and Metallica. Yeah. So, Large, basically, I walked in, man, and it's like I was, mowing the lawn. I got a few acres out here. Walk in, take a quick shower, quick change of clothes, run downstairs, get some water, and then, hit it. Ideally, I get, a little more time to warm up and stuff like that, kind of settle in the groove of some things. But, yeah, again, so shout out to Elevated Jam Tracks for graciously letting me use some riffs on that front and just getting a chance to play over it. I will eventually be doing all my own music production front to back on this. But in the interim, it's just kind of doing some stuff piecemeal as we go. And let's see, nice riff. Yeah, Mr. Jam Tracks over there. He's based out of the UK. He's just got a ton of cool stuff in funk genres, dirty blues, bunch of other stuff. Hey, Z, what's going on, my man? So, side note, you got a DM you need to look at, brother, on there. Go check that out. It's about some of the audio production stuff we were talking about. And then I see Boogie was talking about doing some Scorpion stuff like that. Yeah. I always liked Rocky Like a Hurricane, but we are the Scorpions! Anyway. And we got Tony coming through. What's good, folks? So, let me manage a few other aspects of my way too many screens these days to try to keep all this straight. Been slowly building out some stuff, got myself a Linktree set up, been trying to work on some aspects on backgrounds. Obviously you heard some updated stuff here as far as some audio production type things and so I am going to talk a bit about some Illuvium announcements this over the last week or so and do a little bit of game streaming. But before I get down into that, quick side note, it's going to be a doubleheader today. I hope you're a Super Twinkie fan. I got some streaming I'm doing right here, right now. As far as some other stuff, you can, of course, catch me on Boogie's channel a little later this evening, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, for tacos and kimchi on that front. We're going to talk about some charts, some other macro news. Charts looking a little weak. So for some folks thinking about DCAing in, I personally know I bought in some stuff. Side note, I bought some PulseX over the weekend on that front. Little Phantom, little Gala. So I'm looking to handle some stuff. Let's see here. Something strange with the audio. Thanks, Z. I'm going to have to listen to it on playback because here's the nightmare side of things. What I hear is not what you guys hear. In fact, it's quite a bit different. The audio balances are different. And there's at least, I'd say, a good 20 millisecond delay when I listen to the playback coming through what I hear, that gets pushed out to the stream. There's a big lag time as far as what I'm hearing. Anyway, I got to spend some more time tinkering around with that. I'll have to see what it sounds like on playback. It's one of the things I wish StreamYard actually had. I wish I had a proper digital mixing console integrated into StreamYard versus stuff that's kind of outside. Anyway, growing pains on this. Am I going to talk about the court ruling from Friday striking down Chevron deference? No, I am not, but I will say you should go check out the DGen Roundtable for that one. Let's see. I have a phaser on my mic. Interesting. I'm wondering what is picking that up. Is it a weird echo or is it a weird time delay? Let me see if I can go punch into some audio settings over here on StreamYard. Bear with me here, just kind of quickly looking at some stuff. Let's see here, because I know StreamYard likes to mess around with audio levels as part of their dynamic adjustment to try to make everything sit a little more copacetic. All right, mic check. Give me a 1 if that's a little cleaner on the audio. Sounds like I have a phaser on my mic foot pedal. Yeah, I do. I actually got a number of different phasers, Electro-Harmonix ones, and I recently got a boutique phaser back there on the bookshelf. I'll have to get some stuff done. Cool. Interesting. All right, so StreamYard's got us a little fussy about some things here, but we'll see what's up on that in the future. All right, appreciate the feedback, guys. As always, it's an ongoing learning process as we fine-tune some stuff around these parts. Anyway, let me get down to some business here. Thanks, guys. Let me share out my first screen of the evening here. So I know I was talking a little bit about some Illuvium stuff. We've got the main game coming live here towards the end of July. And let's see what we got going on here. So I know some folks were concerned about like, hey, what's the Illuvium performance looking like? And was just kind of eyeballing some stuff in the charts myself. I know I've made no bones. I'm generally like more of a support resistance player. And even then, I am not a trader. I am an investor. So if you have the bandwidth to do some trading, hey, more hats off to you. I may occasionally make a ratio trade. I know I was swapping some messages with the DRT guys. I know Brendan and I were swapping a couple messages on this one. The Pulse X to Pulse ratio was looking mighty tasty over the weekend, so hopefully a few folks capitalized upon that. But we're currently sitting around at around 66 odd bucks here on that. Let me just kind of quickly update this since I last drew those lines. So if we're kind of ballpark and getting back up to all-time high, we've got like 29 30x sitting on the table there. If I look at our downside risk, potentially kind of falling to next level of support or the like on this, potentially we're looking at what, maybe another 10% on the down leg on that. That's a pretty solid, I think, risk reward ratio on that. Am I saying go ape a fat bag in it? No. Am I DCing in? Absolutely. And so as far as my kind of more optimistic scenarios here in looking at what I think maybe we'll see for some stuff on Illuvium, again, we're about like a 29 30x up to all-time high on that one. If we're setting a new all-time high based on some stuff, let's just kind of quickly eyeball some things. Let's do a fib extension. Let's just kind of quickly framework it down at this. If we're looking at like a 1618, and I realize, it's still a relatively young chart in a lot of ways, but if we go from a low to high to low on some of the more macro elements on there, then we're kind of eyeballing a 1618 at around $2,600, give or take on that, plus minus. And optimistically, if I am thinking of, and these are longer time horizons, by the way, if I'm thinking optimistically, having seen some of their, quite frankly, hopium, borderline moon math projections on that, I'm calling personally for around, very optimistically, around high 11,000, low 12,000 type mark. Then that's like what, 185x sitting on the table, 184, 185x. So potentially, I think there's some real legs to it. I play the game enough. I think it's pretty entertaining, pretty fun. It's I think it's well worth checking out on this one. We'll see what ultimately comes through on it. All right, let me pull this down for a second. Actually, what I want to do is switch over to something. Boogie and I are going to be talking about this one a little bit here. Let me just show you this next thing I was kind of eyeballing. Picked up this idea from an analyst tech dev on Twitter. So one of the things to, side note, Boogie and I were talking about, hey, at some point in time, it just looks like an insane scribble array of crayon colors and stuff. I started labeling a number of my trend lines just so I can recognize when I drew the original damn line, because I'm like, oh, when did I put that line down? And okay, we're breaking it. So I thought it was important at some point in time. Just putting a date on my lines now as I'm drawing them in just started to help me out and just keep track of some stuff. So, all right, let me just kind of talk through a few different elements I have on this. White lines we'll come back around to this green line here. Bottom line, RSI, you can see the RSI I have sitting in a channel. In this particular case, TechDev was saying, hey, check out the 4-week charts on the Bitcoin side of things. And what you notice is for these peak RSIs in this channel, they coincide with market peaks. Now, what's interesting is the late 2021 peak on that. To what extent that was an anomaly with a double top, I don't know. But what's interesting is that this basically perfectly lines up essentially since inception on this to let you know you are in the peak on this. So really interesting. I have saved this chart as a personally Bitcoin 4-week chart. And I do want to stress that is a 4-week, not a 1-month chart, 4-week. So if you go down here, you can ultimately add your own custom interval. You can see I've got stuff like 3 days and 2 weeks and some other intervals in there that I've punched in. But in this case, swiped it from TechDev, 4 weeks. All right, coming back around to some of these lines here. What are these purple lines on my chart here? So what this was the cycle all-time high number of days to break that cycle all-time high. So 1176, 1071, and in this case, We actually broke it early, but what I was kind of eyeballing for some of them, and this might be a little distorted since sometimes I forget to lock my damn indicators. That's another thing I got to get better about doing. I got about 1064 on this one. I think it's probably some aspect of the prior cycle and the exact number of days. Anyway, so that was from high to potentially breaking high. We know we broke it early. So on trend, it would have been closer to October. And I know I've talked about some other aspects of time intervals on this as well. So this is not the end all be all. It's not a guarantee it's going to happen, but I am going to be on high alert as we start getting into September, October. Of course, there are other things we got to look at, like total market cap, pi cycle top indicator. What's the rest of the macro looking like on this? But strictly from this perspective, I did find it really interesting. Again, particularly for me, the specific takeaway on what I saw from Tech Dev was 4-week interval RSI channel. It lines up beautifully on this one. So I've got that one saved away, tucked away in my back pocket for some future revisits on that front. All right. And let me pull up some additional Illuvium information here. So they've had a few different announcements rolling through their Discord. Words at this point in the weekend are a little bit challenging on that. I know a number of folks have been checking out the open beta, which again, I think it's got some real legs to it. So really looking forward to it. Let me pull up this information. All right. So in this particular case, this was updated on June 25th relative to the airdrop. So a number of folks like myself, we are playing through the beta to try to rack up some points for the airdrop. And I know there are some like min-max strats out there for the Illuvium beta. Do this thing to try to maximize your points, grind this out to get the most materials for capturing stuff. I was much more simplistic on it. I was like, let me check it out. Let me see if it's actually fun. Because if I'm having fun, then other people are going to have fun on it. So what they had called out previously, though, was some aspects relative to 50,000 ILV for loyal holders, 210,000, which at time of writing, I think was around 14 mil originally. Don't hold me to it. I'd have to, well, actually, let's go see what the current price is on that. We'll do some moon maths or some back of envelope math. So what do we got? Like 66.35. So it's like, yeah, it's about 14 mil right now on this compared to potentially when they initially allocated it. So anyway, they got the Illuvium airdrop. If you've been interacting with the Illuvium ecosystem for the past 3 years, they're going to be sending some rewards on that. They took the snapshot on April 14th, and rewards should be Q2 2024 for that particular program. They have some updates here about the reward calculation and the play to airdrop campaign on this one, which is, again, what most of us are doing. So first round airdrop was 30,000. They got another 180,000. Let's see here. And then there's some information on the vesting schedule. So I'll throw this in chat for anyone who's kind of chipping away at the Illuvium beta, maybe finds this stuff interesting. Again, they had a few different announcements and updates this week. In this particular case, they also explained how they were allocating the different points on it. So there was aspects of the playtime points on it. So if you played private beta, you got 400 airdrop points for 4 hours, and then every hour of playtime got you an extra 100 points on that one. And so there was that aspects of the preseason end date. Then they start getting into preseason 2 on this, and so through completing tasks like forging weapon suits, drone attachments. So different plays in different phases will get you some different Illuvium airdrop points and calculations. I don't know what the leaderboards are. I'm not necessarily checking it, again, mainly checking to see if it's fun and like it. So they're transitioning from phase 1, preseason 1, which ends here in a few short hours, so just before midnight UTC. I think that's like in 2 hours, give or take. Anyway, and then there's a 3-month vesting schedule starting at roughly that same time. So in this particular case, if you've been playing, hopefully you've earned yourself some points and earned some different aspects of airdrops, which will be underway for the vesting schedule on that front. And in this particular case, there's also preseason 2, which is going to segue into some missions, which will start July 1st after the next game update. A Discord announcement will be posted when the update is complete. So it is today, June 30th, words, and they will have an Illuvium update in roughly the next 24-ish hours on that. So what's interesting here is it looks like, I know BLX and I were chatting, hey, it would be cool if they had some more timed events, timed events or public events. I don't think they're necessarily quite getting to that front yet, but they will have some daily, weekly tasks, different milestones, and time-limited missions. And so, stay tuned. Obviously, they are coming forward in approximately, 25 days with commercial launch on that front. So we'll see what we got going on that one. All right, let me grab a sip here. Let me fire up some Illuvium, and then, let's kind of get down to it. So as I've been kind of playing off and on a little bit in the background, just trying to get some points here and there, I figured out a few of the other game mechanics on that one. So I'll just kind of talk through them a little bit on that front. And let's see here if this goes super phasey. Let me disable a few things over here. One of these days I'll have to post up on Twitter or something, like just like the audio production rig that I'm trying to manage here. I got to get a lackey, somebody to handle the production for me that I can just yell at from, across the room or something. It's definitely would be hugely advantageous. A lot of button pushing and like toggling between applications for all this stuff. Anyway, excuses. Let me get down to it here. And hopefully everything kicks off without too much of a hitch. Bear with me here, just checking out a few different things, making sure I'm all good to go. Cool. All right, this should work-ish. I'm going to have to switch my mic settings, and then we'll get down to it. All right, hopefully that's not too phasey on that one. And let me pull up the game, and we'll get underway. So side note, I submitted a bug on this one. It looks like Illuvium doesn't necessarily recognize the primary monitor all that well, so I got to let it load up and then reforce it back onto the correct monitor. It says it's being pushed to the correct monitor. It is most definitely not being pushed to the correct monitor. I'm just logging with my IMX passport. I don't want to dox myself, so I'm not sharing that yet. All right, and let me dark a half an ILV. All right, maybe we can work something out. All right, let's see here. All right, hopefully y'all can see the Illuvium game here. So in this particular case, I'm sitting here at the menu checking out Arena and Overworld on this. We're actually going to do some Overworld because, again, I figured out a little bit more on how that all works. So let me hop over to Overworld. Play Overworld, yes, please. And actually, let me do this. Shazam! Now we're balling. All right, so I was messing around with some crafting aspects of some different things. Let me kind of hop into my inventory on this. And let's see here. I want to gear up appropriately, so let me put my advanced jetpack on. Side note, hopefully they fixed this. I haven't submitted this one as a bug report. I had a crafting mission to build like a visor and some jetpacks and stuff. And so what I did not realize is if the gear is equipped, it doesn't factor that into its like scan of, oh, go craft this. So you have to unequip your gear, put it in your inventory, and then you can potentially upgrade that gear. So yeah, I already had one as part of like the default loadout, and it didn't necessarily recognize it. And so yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass. But there's like no real difference right now otherwise. All right, so that's my gear on this one. So let's see here. What I'm going to be doing here is if you play a little bit, you eventually can pick up some testnet ETH, which you can buy fuel to travel to different regions. And so as you travel to different regions, you can see stage 0, 1, 2, 3. Those escalate in difficulty, and the difficulties also potentially give you either better and or different drops in some of the different contents. So what I want to do is I ultimately will run I'll do a run. It's about 5, 8, 10 minutes in a given zone, blast a bunch of crystals and plants, get all the materials I need to potentially craft some stuff, and then come back, craft my Pokeballs, and then go out to the world and try to capture some shit. Let me give you like a quick example on this now that I've figured a little bit more out. Also, I've upgraded my jetpack so I fly a little better on that. We'll go stage 1 here in. Let's go to a different zone. Let's go Crimson Waste on this one. So I'm going to go Crimson Waste stage 1. It's going to say, hey, you got to have this much fuel, which I got. So I will go ahead and send it. Hey, what's going on, Art? Hope you're doing well, man. What'd you think of Pereira last night, man? I thought going into that Potan was going to win, and damn, he looked good. I don't know if you saw his bit on Twitter, but I guess they caught that Jiri would drop his hands when checking a calf kick, and they saw it on Twitter shortly before the fight, and they're like, "Oh, head kick this guy," and lo and behold. Anyway, all right, cool. So I am now in the world. Let me just recheck my gear, make sure I got what I need. Indeed, I do. As part of the game, as I've been playing through, you can see I've also managed to acquire a number of different alluvials, kind of as I've been playing a little bit offline or off stream on that front. You can see in this particular case, I've got, all right, let's go with this lesser water, a Tipo, right? Good example on this. Watch this section of the screen over here on the right. So you can see these are actually randomized spawns as far as I can tell based on the underlying attributes. So you can see it's moving into different sectors for different perks or builds or different roles effectively. For anyone who played like Diablo or certain things like that, effectively the alluvials have different roles on them, even if they are the same underlying one. Also, in order to level them up and potentially fuse them, you need to have so much playtime with them and roll them up into different levels. So you may have a favorite one, or as you are maybe fine-tuning the build and yeah. So you're fine-tuning the build or fine-tuning your deck. That would be something to consider. And let's see here. What do we got going on? Oh, that's a lie. That's not what I'm clicking on. Let me come back in. Man, if that Pereira fight went, another 2 minutes, would have went big on the parlay. I know, Tony, next time. But man, it was very decisive. Large asking, are these alluvials actually mine? They are mine on testnet. My current understanding is I will not be able to carry over the alluvials to the production game, but for testnet, yeah, these are in my deck. They may not necessarily be in my hand for current play, but they're in my deck. So yeah, there's some really cool, interesting looking ones here. And I found this one, which is like a holographic one. You can kind of see it's like kind of interesting and kind of shiny and so pretty neat. Let me kind of see. Anyway. All right. So what I'm going to do here is let me pull up my map. All right. So this is kind of where I'm spawning. Let me ditch that waypoint for now. I'm going to throw up a heat map. All right, so these are all the hot zones. So I'm going to kind of explore the hot zones. In this particular run, I'm looking more for crystal formations. I'm not really trying to brawl. I'm trying to pick up crystal material so I can build some Pokeballs. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go this way and just figure out. I'll see what I see. We'll see if we can go this way. We'll see what I see on the way down. And so some folks were saying hey, if kind of spam tap your jetpack, you can get a little more forward momentum. All right, so what I want here is these crystal formations to gather materials from my Pokeballs. I can press Q and get my whatever enhanced vision mode to see what's up. And so, yeah. And over on the right, you can see I got some lithium and whatever other materials. You need different materials for different upgrades and the like. All right, some fucker shooting me. You belong to me now. And we'll keep traveling on. All right, so there's a green crystal structure right there and some other ones up top. So you can see I'm getting gems, chromium, other things that I'll need to like an uncommon shard and common shards, that's what I turn into the Pokeballs and get some stuff going on there. So as I'm shooting things, you can see in the bottom right, see that 3,700 number? That's my energy. As I am collecting different things, that energy will go down. Now, some of these things can be used for in-battle perks. Other things will be materials that you need to craft and like. Mainly, I'm hunting for crystals right now. And so if you see this meter on the bottom, it'll deplete as I stay in this vision mode. So it's a common energy source on that. From like between my vision and my jetpack and some of my other abilities. So again, looking for more crystals. I see trolling sitting there like spam to break code and do things that shouldn't happen, aka cheat code. I don't know. I don't know if that's deliberate or not. It's definitely it's a burst of acceleration for sure. I'm sure I would like to think that they play tested that and got that feedback. It reminds me of Tribes, if anyone ever played the old Tribes games. I wonder if I can hit that from here. Yes, I can. Is that one as well? Cool. I was able to collect on those from a mile away. Let's see what else we got. So yeah, basically the way I've done this so far is I just kind of make a run and like snap up some crystals and kind of go through. Trolling saying, hey, before a harvested thing disappears, spam buttons or use the pause menu to infinitely pause it and keep harvesting the item. Okay, that definitely sounds like a code bug on that one. Large saying that, let's see. Average gaming BS. Large, with my experience on DeFi Kingdoms, just keep going, be consistent, capture everything. Yeah, so, okay, let's talk real talk. Why am I playing somewhat the airdrop campaign on this? Well, I got my daytime job and I got, property management stuff. And so, I part-time stream, doing some other stuff, obviously working on like guitar playing and some other things on that. The main thing is this is a way for me to use my available time and potentially do something which gets me more income, right? And we can debate, hey, maybe I should just go get a job like doing Uber Eats or whatever, right? As like for like more income, or try to take a different job and get paid more. All those available scenarios. Your scenario might be one, hey, maybe I can make some money playing to get some gear and playing to get some NFTs and the like and make some cash on that one. So it's certainly an option on that front. Mainly, I wanted some airdrop stuff so I could maybe get, pick up a little extra scratch from some cool airdrop things, or at least again check it out. Who knows? Maybe I'll give up my direct crypto aspirations and just be like a full-time Illuvium streamer. No, not really. But hey, you never know. If they want to pay me, we can talk. All right, so obviously, green is kind of poisonous. We don't want the green shit as far as like going for a swim in that stuff. Trolling saying, hey, this is a BS game. Use the broken mechanics to harvest. Reminds me of Destiny 2 harvesting. Yeah, I remember some like the farming spots in Destiny and Destiny 2. It's like, oh, like the stuff that's supposed to be end game or kind of locked or kind of rare drops. Nah, you just sit there and just like camp it and spam it and then get it all. But yeah, so I'm here basically just to like try to pick up crystals and stuff, pick up some materials. So you can see at my bottom right, my bar is now down to 1800. Let's see. Large, I'm like looking at some of my secondary monitor, so I can't necessarily easily swing over. I'm assuming that's a half Illuvium. Hey, for just like checking it out and doing whatever, that's cool. So they clearly seem ultra, I mean, I would expect them to be very invested in seeing the success of this game. And I hope they're successful. I know a lot of us believe in, we're here for the mad gains, but we kind of do believe in aspects of the tech as far as fixing the money, fix the world, or proof of ownership, proof of unique things happening on chain. Like, if you can have the anonymous portion of it, what if the voting records were auditable through the blockchain? So I can tell you voted, maybe not necessarily who you voted for, but tell you voted, and just eliminating things like voter fraud. BLX saying the raid was the only thing that kept him going back to Destiny. Yeah, I actually played a decent amount of PvP, and I actually truly liked the game. As far as I played a lot in console shooter, that was probably the best console shooting mechanics I think I've experienced. I like the uniqueness of each class too. So you can see I'm down to 1300 on my energy level. Am I a crystal farmer? Yeah, somewhat today. Somewhat today. Give me the loot. We'll be done here shortly as I'm just racking up the crystals. And so you can see again, like getting all different kinds of elements, materials, shards. So this is the part that's like kind of tedious, but once you kind of figure out the mechanic a little bit, it's a little easier, a little more time manageable. I've been basically doing this for 5-10 minutes, so this isn't too bad. I do believe they said they will have a better or some presence of some sort of in-game tutorial on that. All right, that's on the other side of that wall. These fuckers are shooting me. My energy is low. The dome could collapse. All right. Oh. I just recharge for a second, work my way up. All right, I got one more shot here, so let me just go. Oh. Just seeing what's out there. Let's go with that green one, and then we'll get out of here, and we'll go craft some shit. All right, so dome is in the process of collapsing. You can see I got a nice string of all the gems and stuff I picked up. I'm just going to go out to the map and teleport back to, I guess, the main entry point here. Now that I'm here, I'm going to hold E to interact. I'm going to go back to Sanctum Mesa. And I'm going to update and craft and make some other stuff here. All right, so now that I'm in zone, I tap M to go to my map. I'm just going to teleport to this location. Now that I'm here, I'm going to run over to the forge. If I can... fire up the forge. All right, so I'm here and I can build a bunch of stuff. You can see I've got some assorted materials to build certain things here. In this particular case, I want to build things like capture Pokeballs. So you can see I've got cured some like common, uncommon shards and like, so I can build certain things. So I'm going to start with, let's see here. If you look at the description, tier 1 or lesser, tier 2 or lesser. Now, in this case, there's a limited pool of common materials by this Hyperion fuel, which my understanding is the lands can produce the fuel. And so that'll be part of the overall economic design of the game. I have plenty from testnet ETH, so I'm just going to build 6, top it out, and just say, go ahead and build my Pokeballs. So I can capture tier 2 or lesser alluvials. All right. And let's see here. Same thing. I'll go make my common shards, forge those. Now, if I flip through on some other things, I have like gemstones to make infused gemstones. Let's see. I got an amplifier I can build for my drone. If I want, I have some things to potentially make, let's say, dyes and whatever else. Let me flip through armaments. I've got some things to make some different armaments. Let's see what I got for equipment. So this is what I was saying earlier. It doesn't necessarily recognize this stuff is in my inventory. So unless they patched it recently. So what I actually had to do was go in, let's see here, go to my gear, strip off my stuff, which is why you see I have like 2 of some things. I don't think it's a better gun, by the way. Walk back in and say, okay, now do I have what I need to maybe make an advanced visor or an advanced jetpack or a supreme jetpack? Well, let's see here. I do have the advanced jetpack, but I don't have the Neodar ingots, sanguine essence, or the rhodium ingots. So let me hop over. I need Neodar. I need rhodium. So can I make Neodar and can I make rhodium? And the answer is no. I'm short on this, what is this, rhodium. So I might need to go and grind for some aspects of that, which I'm not necessarily going to do on stream, but I might go to some different zones or different levels like 0, 1, 2, 3 and just kind of grind it out. From what I've seen poking around, aside from getting the materials for Pokeballs, and I don't know if this is true, this is just my impression thus far, if I want rhodium, I would have to grind out in like 0 to 1 to get the materials I need to build and up the next thing and then rinse, repeat. So there is some sort of laddering up as far as I can tell. As far as other aspects of some things, I think I'm generally okay with most of my gear. Let me see if there's anything else I need. Ingots, I'm not going to build because until I've got everything I need to get the equipment I want, I don't want to screw around and build out sub materials I don't need. So we'll see how they maybe handle that in the future to improve some aspects of that. But let me re-equip my gear and let's go. We'll go try to capture a few things. Let's see here. We got the mag boots. Boots, yeah. Boots go on your feet, not on your head. And let's see here. Put this in. I got the water shiv and the water cuff. I don't particularly care for the water cuff. I think that kind of sucks. Can I pull that out? Can I swap? Beautiful. Beautiful. And so, okay, I've got these earth Grokkos and the other things. Let's see here. Manuki saying the game is beautiful. Are other game modes available too? Do you play Auto Battler too or something like that? Yeah, I played the Auto Battler. I'll play, let me go do a little bit of hunting to capture some alluvials and then we'll go to the Auto Battler and we'll see how it works out. Last couple nights I got spanked because I still don't know what I'm doing in the Auto Battler aspect of it, but we'll go check it out. And let's see here. Oh, maybe I want to switch up my alluvial rotations on this, right? So obviously I've got some different Grokkos, yeah, and let's see what we got. Oh shit, come on. Let me search. All right, so I got a greater air Doka, and this is he's an air fighter on this. Looks kind of neat, right? I don't know, kind of like a furry warbird thingy majiggy. And you guys see I got my lesser earth Doka. So do I want to go with a slightly heavier hitter? Yeah, I'll go with a slightly heavier hitter in principle on this one, on that one. So that's the greater, right? And then I've got some named alluvials, I guess, or like pseudo-named alluvials that I don't really know what they do fully. But you can see in this case, like, there must be something different about them. So I'm still learning, game mechanics as I play through it on this. This is the one holographic one I picked up, and he's kind of a healer on something. So I don't, have a super healer on that. Hell, let's we'll throw them in the rotation. Let's see. I got air, water, earth, fire. We'll go with it, right? I'll replace the earth one. That's what we'll do. Cool. All right. So let's see. Manuki saying, hey, appreciate the stream. Yeah, it's got some legs, man. I do think it's going to do well. Just got to capture the public. I was chatting with some guys in Citadel and Q2 over in the Crypto Mindset Telegram stuff. I think, I've been speculating this for a little while, this is somewhat demanding, I think, to run on local PC, but it's not it's not like playing Call of Duty where you need reflex and input sensitivity and twitch shooting. Yeah, okay, there's a little bit on it when you're in overworld, but I wouldn't call it extravagant, and not to the point where I'd be concerned with it. I think they are going to make this a streamable game. So you're going to open up the app, the Illuvium app, and be able to stream the game to your phone or to your smart TV or something like that. That's what... Call it a hunch. We'll see if I'm right on that one. All right. So let's see here. We'll go to Abyssal Basin and try to go capture some alluvials. We'll see how we do. I'm going to go stage 1. Cross our fingers. Hopefully everything's cool. Let's go try to catch some monsters or whatever. Are they monsters? I don't know. I would call them monsters. They're creatures. They are interestingly non-threatening. So, Manuki, I've got an i7 8700K. It's an older, what is it, like 7th gen, 8th gen? i7 8700K. I've overclocked to 5 gigahertz. 16 gigs of RAM. I don't remember I think it's DDR3, DDR4. And an NVIDIA 1070 GTX on this one. And yeah, like... This is starting to bump up to like the edge of what I can do. And I do have some graphic settings turned down to medium on this just to make it a little more playable, especially where I'm streaming and doing all these other things simultaneously, which is, you know, more further demand on it. But yeah, it's okay so far. So, all right. Same deal. I'm going to pull up my map, check out the heat map. All right. So there's like ain't much going on here, but there's all sorts of things going on down here. Let's see here. I'm going to go this way. And we'll see what we got going on. And so when I'm looking for alluvials, what I do is like I'll like spot check some stuff. So I'll talk about that mechanic right there. What I'm doing is I'm looking for things that move. If I see something moving and it's like, you know, kind of like, I don't know, stout and moving, it's probably an alluvial. So what I did there is I'm flying, I'm accelerating with a jetpack, and as I drop into the water, I kind of glide. You can also tap control and just like kind of go hands off, and it'll glide, you know, like a wingsuit. So yeah, some interesting movement mechanics. And so this is like, you know, I mean, the PC I'm running on, I built in 2017, and it's holding up okay. For those who are maybe interested in playing, I would encourage you to go with a desktop PC with a modular graphics card. These days, I would recommend, you know, kind of depends on your budget. If you want to hit me up and you got questions about it, I'm more than happy to talk about that stuff. Yeah, I think there's going to be a fair amount of system flexibility. The Unreal Engine is pretty flexible as far as being able to tailor it for performance, and you will have some options. You can always get used video cards if you want to buy something off the shelf. We can talk about that. Major thing I think is having a desktop video card on that. All right, so we got some different heat spots and the like kind of rolling around here. I don't really see any alluvials running around. That's okay. All right, there's something moving over there. See him kind of directly ahead. We'll go try to catch him. Is that a big-ass crystal formation? Yes, it is. So I need to make a pit stop. I'm going to let him go because I want the crystals here. This is a solid find right here. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Thank you very much. All right. So let's see what we got going on here. All right. So that alluvial ran off. He's somewhere out there. All right. Let's see where we're at on the heat map. Get him. All right, there he is. So slow-mo if you got the energy for it, and I'll sick my little drone on it. All right, let's see. So you can just gather that stuff to refill your jetpack batteries. No need to wait 3 hours for additional energy. Freely gaming. So it'll auto refill on the bottom meter if you kind of like chill out. So let me show you what I mean. You can see it's depleting, right? And as soon as I come off it, it refills pretty quick on the jetpack meter. If you're talking about this stuff in the bottom right where that like the light blue 3600 is, that's your energy that you have for this like instance or this level while I'm in it. When I run out of that energy, the world starts collapsing and it's time for me to leave. What causes me to use energy, that light blue energy, is like mining, capturing alluvials, picking up materials with my drone and gun. So yeah, all right. We're just gonna go straight into it. We're gonna fight. Good luck to us. All right, so these are like some of the materials I've picked up and throughout the levels and the like. In this case, they got a squad of 5 alluvials. All right, I might have bitten off a little more than I can chew on this one. We'll see what's up. You can see they've got 2 earth, 2 water, and 1 fire alluvial. They got Bulwark, which is a tank. They got a fighter, and they got a Scion. I don't remember what a Scion does, some sort of distance fighter. Anyway, I am going to say, up here I've got 245 energy for this encounter. I'm just kind of poking around. Let me see what I can see on this one. He's like kind of back there. Can I zoom out a little bit? All right. Looks like kind of maybe a tank or a runner. Taunts, Agros, Atlas. The moniker or Monkier. What else we got over here? And Rye. All right, so I want to get a little distance from this, and I ideally want to have everyone try to gang up on the front guy. So I got my greater water Graco here. I'm going to put him kind of up front. I'll put my other tank over here. Let's see what else I want to do here. I got my fighter, and he's kind of my healer, so I'm going to put him to the side of me. And if I want to pivot the camera, I can hold on my right mouse button and zip around here. W, A, S, and D to change my perspectives. So that's my gang. That's my holographic one I found the other day. Looks pretty cool. All right, so let's see here. What else do I want to do here? So you can see just by deploying all these things, I've already used 110 points. So I want to look around and figure out, hey, what can I do to try to increase my odds of success? I want to go with... I'll go with the gumbo drop, try to make my attacking guy faster. I will throw on a... Let's see, what else can I do here? Let me put a Thorns ability on my tank. I'm going to put a Thorns ability on my healer just to try to give him a little resiliency and whatever else. Oh, here's the other thing I want to do. I want to use my alluvial to inherit some abilities on some of these guys. And so I'm going to try to pick up some water abilities from my tank. Or I guess the affinity for the team build. So now I got a water bonus, 2 energy regen for water units. I'm also going to go in on this water element and give myself a shiv. This might get him into trouble because he's going to try to get behind and attack the weakest one. We'll see how it works out. And that's it. Now it's time to roll the dice. Let's see what we got. 3, 2, 1, go. So you can see my guy over here trying to pummel this little shit. There's my team brawling in the middle. This is looking a little rough. We'll see how it's going. Not looking so good. Ah, so close yet so far away. So I took the L on that one. I did bite off a little more than I could chew. So you do have the ability to scan the fight before you engage in it. So it might have been more prudent for me to walk away on that one. Unfortunately, it throws me back at the beginning when you take that L on that. So let's see what else we got. We'll go down this way and see what we got. So I'll show that scan mechanic here on this next encounter. Yeah, it was pretty close, Dark. Because that one little tiny tank one that like just was super durable. It just didn't have the ability to kill it. What's going on, buddy? What's going on, Storm? Good boy. All right, so we are looking for an alluvial. Yeah, it's a pretty cool looking game. Now that I figured out a little bit more of the mechanics, like how to streamline the experience a little bit, like basically run around, get the materials, and then try to start capturing stuff. I see one. Or at least I thought I did. Where are you at? All right, so this table, I'll show you what I mean. Like you can scan the encounter before you engage in it. So it'll still cost you a little energy, but you can see I spend 10 points to scan or 300 to fight. So let's scan it and see what it is. All right, there's only 3 of them this time. I feel a little more confident in this encounter. So let's see here. Thanks, Synthwave. Hey, man, how you doing? It's been a minute. All right, so now we're going to fight. So Synthwave is telling me if you use G, as in Gamma, in the overworld, it'll use your weapon's ability against the alluvial you're chasing. Thank you, sir. All right, so let me back that ass up and see what we got going on here. What are they? They're water. So let me check the affinities over here. So water smashes earth, but it's weak against the wind. So I'm going to affiliate with my wind alluvial, and we're going to send it. All right, let's do it. Yeah, we're kicking the shit out of him on this one. Get wrecked. All right, so now I got to capture him. I have potentially multiple ones I can capture. So let's check these out. That's level 3. All right, let's see. Archie's a level 2. That's a level 1. All right, well, I'm going to grab Archie because he's the one who caught my attention. So that's level 2. And so what I can do here is, as I'm eyeballing these, I can try to catch it. This is going to be too low. So you can see the most basic primitive one that I can only use that on tier 0 alluvial. So that's not strong enough. Different elements, I suspect, Manuki. They got like different abilities. Sometimes you'll see like holographic ones. Could be a little bit of a graphical issue too. So in this case, if I got those 3, let me see here. I don't have that much power left though, because I use so much just to like stay in the fight. Let's see what the odds are. 46.3% chance? Nah. Good news. I have other Pokeballs I can try out. 73.08. I'll roll the dice on that one maybe. What else we got here? I got a rare shard, which is really for tier 3, 92.76. Would I normally burn one of those on this? Probably not. I would probably roll the dice on it, but I want to kind of knock this one out of the park. Fingers crossed. So I'm going to try to take him home. Going shopping at the pet store. We got one. Dark, yeah, it's from like running those upper level ones and just getting materials to make the balls and like trying to figure out a little bit more of the game mechanic. All right, so I still got 2990 energy left to kind of run around and try to capture some more alluvials. So we'll burn through all the energy I got, and then I'll play like an auto battler around, and we'll kind of see where we end up from there. All right, let me go head this way. Dark, did it take a long time to accumulate? I don't know, maybe 10 minutes per run just to run around and shoot a bunch of crystals and stuff like that to get it. So I suspect once the actual game launches, you'll have the ability to do certain things economically instead of needing to harvest. But I guess we'll find out. You know, I would assume there's like, hey, if you're a landowner, you're producing all this fuel, can you sell the fuel to get the funds to buy the materials just to go that route? I mean, it would seem kind of cool if you could, but yeah. All right, we got another one on deck. I'm just going to fight it. We'll just fight it. Let's see what happens. So yeah, Dark, what I was doing was like kind of running around and, you know, I would do like 1 materials run or 2 material runs and then go play around to capture the alluvials. And then that would be my play session when I was checking out some stuff. All right. Well, this is interesting. Now, do you think that's Kuka or is it Kaka? All right, so they got air, nature, fire. Fire strong against nature and air, so I'll definitely put my fire guy on the board. I want to try to get to hopefully this guy in the back first. And we'll send it. And they teleported behind me, and they're like smashing my healer. That's kind of unfortunate. But I destroyed that first guy there, so it was like a 3-on-1 gangbang. But this guy in the back here, he seems like a little bit of a problem right now. We have emerged victorious. All right, so in this case, if you look up here where the top purple bars, you can see I got a lot more energy to work with as far as trying to capture some stuff. So let's see what we got for pickings here. Got 2 rogues and an empath. It's kind of like phoenixy looking bird. This, I don't know, koala? It's like this fiery koala thing. And a lynx. You know what? I'm going to go with the lynx here. So let's see what he's a level 2. I got an uncommon shard for level 2s. Let's see what the odds are. 3149. That's not great. I got a rare shard. 57. We'll roll the dice on the 57. All right, and I still got some energy to work with to try to capture at least one more. So. Level 1. 48, nah. 75, sure. The synthwave saying Choco is really good if you don't have them. I think I might have one. It was like, I mean, like that top line, was it Chukundi thing? That looks pretty fierce and kind of awesome. All right, we got one more. What do we got here? Kaka. Tap 2, what's good, man? Hope you're doing well. How am I enjoying it so far? It's hey man, you know, I got cucked. Fucker. All right, 2 ain't bad. 2 ain't bad. No, I'm pretty sure it's Kaka. It might be like they might want it to be Kuka, but it's Kaka. It looks like Kaka. It's Kaka. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. All right, I'm kind of in the right zone, so I guess start working my way up in this kind of direction. I still got 2690 left for energy. There's another alluvial there who wants to brawl, so we're going to go after it. We're just going to get it. We're going to try to capture as many as we can. Give me a little shit. Yeah, Manuki, I know, brother, I know. Sid, cucked on cucka. Yeah. So I know some folks in the Moon Gang and like some of the different crypto communities have maybe played this. Other folks have looked at it. Some folks have found their way to Illuvium strictly from an investment perspective. Out of curiosity, is it interesting to watch? Is the game visually entertaining as sort of a spectator? Or like where I'm going with this is, we gotta like have like the crypto Moon Gang army streaming on Twitch. All right, so we got four of them up there. Fire, air, earth. Fire, air, earth. I don't really have much by way of earth, so this one's going to be a little more challenging. Let's see here. Upper level, fucker. Well, I don't have a whole lot of choice here. I got to go with what I got. Tony, it's a lot more fun to watch than to grind myself. Yeah. Tony, did you end up snapping up any Illuvium lands? Again, I'm wondering, as like a landowner, material producer, I wonder if that's a way to shortcut a lot of the grind. Yeah, screw it. We're just gonna go with it. Let's see. What do we got? Fire, air, earth, wind. I'll go with it. Just smashing my healer. It's not going well, gents. Not going well at all. Yeah, I got trucked on that one. Tony, I'm with you, man. It's like I might pick it up and play semi-recreationally, but am I going to grind versus use my time for something else? Nah. Now, if you got kids, you maybe want to enslave your children and force them to play so they can get you airdrops and find NFTs and shit like that so you can flip them. Not financial or life advice, not legal advice, not relationship advice, but might be entertaining. All right, so that did not go well on that encounter. I might need to think about rebuilding my deck in the future, but I'm going to still head out in that same direction. And let's see what we got going on here. This is the kind of game where I wish they had more of a multiplayer element. Like, could you team hunt something? Or if you team hunt something, you get dragged in the instance and everyone gets half of their alluvial deck or something like that. That could be kind of neat. So instead of, I don't know, I think I got 4 I can play right now. Instead of having 4, I only can bring in 2. That'd be kind of neat. I'm generally a sucker for co-op games. But as arguably the first real kind of like AAA blockchain game we're going to get, this is pretty cool. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Some iguana looking thing. Fuck it, we ball. I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to scan it. We just fighting. Ride or die. Yeah. So Tap, it'll be interesting to see how this gets monetized out. Like, are there people who just play the overworld aspects and can sell materials and stuff? Or there are other people, who are just doing the NFT side of things? It'll be pretty interesting. All right. So Axon looks pretty cool. Atlas, Chucko. All right, so I'm going to use relatively similar formation here. Keep my healer back a little bit. We'll get my water Grocko. All right, here we go. My Arcos needs a ring nut. I have it. I don't know what it does, but so Manuki, I'm just like trying to get him to collectively aggro and smash the same target. There might be a better way to do that I haven't come across yet, but it's working okay so far. Tap2 saying he'd like to see the devs advertise it with a drop event on Twitch. Yeah, that would be cool. Again, if this is like the first real AAA thing, I don't know if anyone else. I know Synth's been around a hot minute, and Tap2 as well. I don't know if you guys remember Star Atlas in prior conversations, but it looks like they're coming along pretty solidly too, and I hope to see them do well. Also, keeping my eyes open for stuff like Off the Grid and who knows what else we got coming. So. Let's see, Chucko Axon. He was the guy who caught my attention. We're going to go for Axon here. 67.3 chance. Yeah, good luck to us. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Nice. Looks cool. So Tony, in the auto battler side of things, Synth, how many hours do you think you got into the Illuvium thing, man? Because you're certainly well more versed in it than I am. The auto battler, you have like twice as many alluvials. You get like, I think 8 cards. You can potentially have up to 8 alluvials, whereas for as far as I can see, Overworld, you can have up to 4. Or at least I can only have up to 4 currently. I don't know if as I level up, that'll be a little bit different. Loading. Cool. So once I don't get dragged back to the beginning on that one. Let's see here. We will continue on to our destination. Synth saying he's got like 40 to 50 hours. So you got me smoked in time. Synth, have you done any of like the fusion stuff on that and like leveling up the different ones or whatever? I haven't gotten to the fusion mechanic yet, so I'm just wondering if you've had the opportunity to check it out, how well it works. Yeah. I think you need 3 of the same, right? I might be confusing my games. I think you need 3 of the same one to be able to fuse them. And they have to be leveled up to a certain extent. We got a runner. Tap2 saying he's looking forward to Shrapnel. Yeah, I'd like to. I just want to see more games that embrace blockchain. And I think the big appeal for aspects of gaming is it makes the crypto portion of it effectively invisible in a lot of ways, right? Because the UIs are generally better. They have way more, game companies have way more experience designing and implementing UIs. Well then. They've got 2 rogues, so they're probably going to try to get behind me and hit me. So I'm going to try to play back corner and hope for the best. I'm also going to wear a proton vest. Where they got air, dust, fire. Air, dust, fire, air. I don't have nature. It's got a little bit of fire. All right, we'll go. And let's see here. Arcos needs a ring nut, you were saying. All right. I have the red because they need ring nuts. Okay. Thanks, Synth. Appreciate it, man. Interesting. 10 alluvial integrity. Is that because the alluvial takes permanent damage or semi-permanent damage? Because, like, what is... I don't know what the integrity aspect of it is. All right. Let's see anything else here. They are... What are they? They are air. I don't really have anything too amazing... All right, whatever. Fuck it. We ball. Whoa. He came out of nowhere trying to smash my shit. He's cool. Like some, I don't know, Sonic the Hedgehog type thing spinning around. Since saying integrity drops if they die in battle. Got it, thanks. Well then. Rota. Little hedgehog looking shit. Rogue. Tiru here with, I don't know, Fire Rogue. Interesting. And this Virtuous Lynx, which is less exciting to me. I'm just going to go with Rota because it looks cool. So we'll start with Rota. I'm going to see what the chance on 93 versus 73. I'll roll the 73. Try to preserve my 93s. Fast as fuck, boy. All right, we got one. Well then. I'll try to capture these two. Like, for those that remember, what was it, Mad Max 2? Was that the Thunderdome one with like Master Blaster? Am I getting that one right? I think it was Master Blaster. Cool. All right, we're going to go for 3. Thanks, Synth. Yeah, okay, yeah, that was the one. Mad Max 3. Thanks. I remember Master Blaster. I just couldn't remember which one it was. Okay, this one's what? Virtuous Links. 57. What is this? Fuck it. I'll use a Resplendent. I want this. Whatever this is, I want it. Watch me get screwed because it's like, it'll be like the 2.5% where I can't catch it. All right. We'll take that W. It's a level 1 that has no alluvial line. 50 point, tier 2, harder to capture. Thanks, Synth. Yeah, it looks pretty neat. Storm, you want to come? Let's come around. Storm, go around. Hey, what's up, buddy? All right, let's see how we're doing. Still got 1790 on the energy pile. Let's see what else we got going on here. And pull up some heat maps. So we kind of went down that way, checked some shit out there, took some L's. I'm going to go up here. This dude's going to get the business. Links don't have an element until they fuse. Interesting. Okay, cool. That makes sense why it's like weird looking. Okay. Again, I look forward to seeing like the updated UIs and the explanations on a number of different things. All right, they got a rogue, a bulwark, and a fighter. So they got like solid offensive output. There's one guy who can potentially get behind me. Okay, is this because he's died so many times so I can't use him? Interesting. Okay. Fuck it, we ball. Ouch. You know, I'm going to try to catch her Atlas here. This Atlas. All right. Cool. And tap 2, yeah, the I got my graphics somewhat turned down on this because it's an older rig. So yeah, I'm sure it looks primo on a newer rig. Try to capture a rye here. Getting hungry, so actually what I'm going to do here is I'm going to eject from this. I'm going to go play the auto battler. Well, I'll go back to Sancta Mesa, play the auto battler for a little bit just to show you guys that, and then I'm going to go grab something to eat, and then I'll be back on Boogie's channel in a couple hours. He looks cool. Synth, yeah, for sure, man. Like serialized stuffed animals, you know, like, yeah, there's a lot of cool things they can do with that. All right, so let me actually do this. I'm gonna jump out to Sancta Mesa, Sancta Mesa. Just warning me, I could potentially do more hunting, farming, whatever else. Yeah, not worried about it right now. Cool. Let's hop over here. See if anything. I don't think I actually need to forge anything. I'm just going to kind of go check a couple quick things out. I don't think I really grabbed anything that run for, oh, that's the forge, right? Yeah, that's what I need. All right, I didn't really get any shards I need on that one, so that's fine. Let's do this. Actually, I'm good here. So what I'm going to do is let me bail out of this spot, and I'll go check out the auto battler just to show that, and then I'll drop. Actually, I can just go back to the menu. Fingers crossed, so this will go halfway well. All right, so I'm sure there's like I'm sure Synth could give me a bunch of tutorials. I might have to catch up with him in a bit on some aspects on like what makes a good Illuvium deck build. Let's see here. What do we got? Muddy Friends, first roll. Yeah, let me see if this will work. Let me try this. Let me switch my share out. Let me Alt-Tab and switch my share. So you guys can see the deck build here in a second. Give me a second. Cool. All right, this is the deck builder here, right? So I got my own first team I put together to varying degrees of success. Not really. Let's go with create a team. And let's say stream dream team. All right, and can I filter what I own? Prioritize. We'll go with owned items just to see what's up. All right, so let's see here. I got a number that I own. I got some assorted Graccos, some Fleesh, and the like. And in this case, you can see sometimes I've captured multiple of the same thing. Let's see. What do I got for lower point ones? I think we'll go with got my greater water Gracco. So for a valid team in Ascendant battles, previous Ascension stages of an Illuvium must be present in your team. Invalid for Ascendant. Incomplete Ascension path. Missing the lower stage Alluvial. What does that mean? Lesser. And can I do a lesser and a greater? Let's see if that'll fly. Yeah. Cool. Minimum of 5 stage 1 required. All right. Well, screw it. Let's see what we got here. We'll do a lesser air Doka and a greater air Doka. I don't think I have many heavy hitters in it. Looks like you can bypass that one. Yeah, I don't know what it means. Whatever. We'll find out. We'll find out. Let's see. Where's my other one? I know I had a different kind of fleece thingy majiggy. We'll do that one. Oh, I got a whole bunch of these things. I don't know. 3, 2, 1. We'll pick the right hand one. Cool. Can I do more? I don't think I have like much by way of heavy hitters. He looks cool. I just want to see if I can bring him into battle. Whatever. How many can I slap in this deck? Fuck it, we ball. Really? You're just gonna let me keep loading them up? I mean, if you're gonna let me load them up, I'll keep slapping them in. I mean, we got Kaka, so I gotta throw him in the mix. And, you know, I'm just gonna click until it tells me to stop clicking. We'll see how it works out. Good enough. All right. We got a deck. We got a deck. Cool. All right. So I got my stream Dream Team on that one. Let me stop sharing that out and get back to sharing the game. Oh, shit. Wait. Let me go back. Change team. Let me refresh that. There we go. Stream Dream Team. Good luck to us. Emotes and drones and other stuff forthcoming. So, see, 24 seconds. Still looking for an opponent. Hey, Dark. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, 30 seconds. Clearly, they fear my deck. So, Synth, do you think you're going to be playing the game on release? You like it enough to sink some real hours into the production side of it? I'm assuming they're going to have like guilds and teams and other things that we can eventually do in game. Man, nobody wants this smoke. And then Sensei is going to be putting time into the free tier 0 stuff and playing the land game. Yeah, I wonder how this is going to work out, right? Like, very interesting. Strange times. Pretty cool. All right, 2 minutes. I didn't find a match, so what I'm going to do is maybe just try to battle the AI here or something. Let me see. See if I can get a bot or AI bot just to play, just to show the game here. Meanwhile, all right. So playing the PC on this one. Let's see what we got. I'm gonna go with Energy Harvest. All right, let me back my guy up here. All right, so I got some options here. Let's see what else we want to do. I'm gonna throw up, I think I want to throw up a tank line. Right, we'll see how this works out. Now, I could be a little more conservative with my point allocation, but fuck it, we ball. Let's see what we got. This is cool. It's like weird little penguin looking thing. That's pretty neat. He's got some monster, like, what is this? Monster, what is it? Nature tank? Graco? Yeah. Well, all right. Sensei in here. It's the last hour of preseason one, so most people are trying to catch alluvials to boost airdrop points. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. All right, so let's see. They got a bunch of nature. Fire. Do I have a lot of fire? Don't think I have much fire. I do not. Oh, I do have a little fire. And then Earth against nature works out pretty well too. Let's see if there's any other trickery I want here. Nah, actually, I'll ascend this guy. Good luck to us. We go again. Penguin little shit. All right, looking good so far. So this is the part where you gamble. They throw 4 cards up. I got 4 points to play. We gamble. So if I put 1 in, he puts 0, I win that card. If he puts 1 in, I put 0, I win that card. Else we can tie. Well, shit. Slayer. What do I want to do here? What do I got? I got some water. And what else I got going on here? See if I can beam the fuck out of these guys. What is that monstrosity? This ain't looking so good. Okay, it worked. I'm assuming I won because I had more players on the board. If so, that's an interesting mechanic. I mean, what are my options here? I guess I'll throw a little Atlas over here on the board. We'll ascend his ass. And we ball. Well, that was very clever. What on earth? That was cool. Yeah. I mean, sucked I was on the receiving end of it, but it looked cool. What is that? I would like to know what that is, because that was cool. All right, so I guess like in principle, I would need to spend more time getting the upper levels of some of these alluvials. So, for example, I had Atlas, so I could dig us update them at Axon. I had the Water Graco, but I don't have upper levels of some of these other ones. So I would want to spend some time getting them if I were to play this much more seriously. Do I have all 8 on the board? I do have all 8. Because this dude's got some heavy hitters. Like, whatever this thing is, he is just fucking my world up. Oh my god, he just destroys everything in that circle. It looks cool, though. Taking the L. Taking the L. Taking the L. Oh, yeah. Dropping warheads on foreheads. That sounds cool. All right. New strat. We'll try a new strat. All right. We'll go with, what are we going to do? We're sending it. Send it all. I want to know what this thing is, this fire dragon. He's got his own kind of hedgehog here, upper level hedgehog. Or ascended hedgehog, I guess, as it were. All right, I got spanked. There you go. So that's the auto battler. Let me alt tab over here, stop my share. So appreciate everyone tuning in. Thanks a bunch. That's a little more Illuvium. We looked at crafting some materials, getting some stuff. Thanks for the pro tips today, Synth. Much appreciated, man. Yeah, checked out the auto battler, checked out the crafting, captured a bunch of stuff, ran around. Let's see here. Took a look at the charts on that stuff. Again, I think we got plenty of leg room on this thing just to climb up to the all-time high. I am going to sign off, say thanks all for tuning in. You can catch me in about an hour and 45 minutes over on Boogie's stream for tonight's tacos and kimchi, where Boogie and I will chat about some things going on in the world. Might be something about, I'm sure there'll be some political creep into it, but we got Boogie's TA. I like to cover some of the background stories going on with some of the different stuff in the market. We'll talk a little bit about the ETH ETFs and some other things. So appreciate it. Thanks a bunch. Catch you on a little bit.